Good morning, 60. How's everybody today? Well, again, the reason that I'm doing all this is that someday if somebody, some grandson, granddaughter, or criminal investigator wants to look back and find out, how I got here and how you ended up there, that's what this is about. And again, I don't want you visiting me in an old folks home when I'm half batshit crazy, but right here, well, I still have at least half my wits. So we were talking about family and my mother. So 1960, I guess, 63, 64, right in that area. My mother had recently gotten out of a mental health care facility in Pennsylvania, Warren State Hospital. Started dating a black guy. Went from crazy to crazier, right? Exactly. And I guess that was the cure. So anyway, and she and him and her decide they're going to raise us boys. Whether we're okay with that or not. So anyway, they do. Now remember, I was raised in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, which is dead center of the state of Pennsylvania. Remember, Pennsylvania is shaped like a shoebox. On one end you've got Pittsburgh. On the other end you've got Philadelphia. In the middle, Alabama. Okay? And it's that way to this day. And I don't mean that disparagingly. There are good folks that live there, but it's still very, very much like the Deep South in that part of Pennsylvania. Lots of guns, lots of Bibles, lots of churches, lots of bars, lots of white trash, lots of good white people, and lots of good regular folks. So, where am I going with this? Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. So what I wanted to tell you was this, so my mother starts dating William Caldwell. And he's black and he has 4 kids and he's married. They start seeing each other and he takes her to the VFW dance in Clearfield. VFW is an organization for our veterans and veterans of foreign wars. And he served in the Korean War. And he was an officer in good standing with his dues paid at the VFW. Now, racism there isn't like racism you know other places, or know of, or think you've heard of, because you think you've heard of it, and you really haven't. But in a small town like Clearfield, those guys grew up together. He grew up in East End, a bunch of Italians, bunch of Irish kids, and they played ball together. They belonged to the Boy Scouts together. They went to school together. They played softball and baseball together. They played high school football together. 3 things they didn't do together. They didn't swim together. They didn't wrestle. High school wrestling was totally segregated then. And also, they didn't date white women. That's just, and white guys didn't date black women. You just didn't cross that line. But anyway, so 63, 64, Caldwell wants to date my mom. He takes her to a VFW dance, and a few heads turn, and the music starts, and everybody's dancing, and he walks my mother out on the dance floor, and they start dancing, and the music stops. And that's a fact. The band that was playing, that was Bud Moore and the Hillbillies. Bud was an Irish Catholic man that had 18 children, him and his wife. I should say his wife. She did all the work, obviously. They had 18 kids. They lived up in Hillsdale, and to this day, there's probably a band in Clearfield that's got his children's playing in it. So anyway, the band stops playing. One of the guys from the VFW comes over and says, "Bill, you can't dance with her in here." And William handled it like he did all things. He handled it reasonably and calmly. My mother handled it like she handled every crisis in her life too. Like a fucking raving lunatic. like they had to drag her out the door, screaming and yelling. She was motherfucking everybody she could see. At the next meeting, Caldwell reminded everyone there that he was an officer in good standing of the VFW, that he would dance with whom he wanted. And they said, no, but you can dance with Skippy. That was my mother's nickname. You can dance with Skippy. He was like, oh, okay, I guess that works. So they actually voted into law, or made it a law, and voted on it, that William Caldwell was allowed to dance with Nancy Caroline Gallagher, my mother. How about that? Wasn't allowed to dance with nobody else. And of course, that lasted about 3 weeks until his best friend Bill Kincaid, who's black also, and who we loved as children, because he was drunk and funny and would always give us a quarter if we would go in the house and steal him a beer. He was drunk. He was drunk and grabbed my mother, started dancing, and somebody said something, and Kincaid said, "Fuck all you guys, I'll dance whoever I want." And that was it. So that's basically the story of how my mother got to dance with a black guy. I'm not sure how yours went about it, but mine did it legally. All right, so stop the bullshit. Okay, peace. B-60.